When I find an interesting recipe, I try it a couple of times, and if I like the outcome, I transcribe the recipe into a notebook. Yes, the old-fashioned way. Of course, this transcription process is not perfect. How about transcribing chocolate coffee cake? Chocolate coffee cake, chocolate coffee cake, chocolate coffee cake. Your brain will keep looking at the words, and the next thing you know is you want chocolate coffee cake. Because these words mean something to you. We transcribe texts word by word, and I can make copies of my recipes for all my friends and relatives by transcribing them onto pieces of paper. From a biological standpoint, transcription is extremely important. It is a little bit like copying recipes, but not quite so. Let's look at COVID-19 RNA as an example. The molecule that carries information on how to bake proteins is represented by 4 letters in a continuous sequence: A, G, C, U. Each letter represents a nucleotide in a ribonucleic acid molecule. This is why the string of letters is called RNA sequence. To simplify the way this string of letters looks, I will add a space between words. In biological language, all words are made out of 3 letters. All words, just 3 letters. But this virus cannot make copies of itself without adding an extra step. This is a positive RNA virus. It needs to make a negative of itself in order to make a new positive RNA sequence that will go out to infect other cells. Positive, negative, positive, negative. Through time, mistakes will happen. And just one change of a letter in a biological word may translate into a different ingredient added to a protein sequence, which in turn may have a huge impact on the structure of the protein the new amino acid is part of. Changes in COVID-19 are happening in front of our very eyes. The virus is producing new copies of itself in people that get infected. Every time the virus gets to produce new copies of itself, even if you don't feel sick, there is a chance that the new copies will be different. We are not out of this pandemic yet. New variants of COVID-19 are showing up all around the world. And these sequence changes will continue to happen as long as the virus continues to produce copies of itself. This is called. What do you think will happen if my transcription of this almond coffee cake recipe exhibits changes that translate into a completely different cake? What if, instead of writing 2 teaspoons of baking powder, I write 1 teaspoon of baking powder? Instead of almond paste, I add chocolate chips. Instead of layering the chocolate chips, I mix them into the batter. The result will not be the cake intended in the original recipe. It may end up tasting terrible, or maybe it will turn out to be a delicious discovery in the art of cooking that will have to be passed down from generation to generation. This is my MuTaNT chocolate coffee cake.